Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 9 to the Skies. And we're starting things off where we finished the last episode up in the new enchanting area, and this is where I've been spending all of my time between episodes getting a few enchants going. So I have been doing a few things. I've been putting some enchants on my boat, which I'll show you in a second, but I've also been trying to get efficiency and a few other things that wasn't really working in this enchanting table. So I have been using some of the others to mix up the enchants a little bit, but the thing I've been enchanting quite a lot is the hose that I've got in here. So on these, you don't get as many enchants on hose, so I thought that I'd concentrate into like efficiency and silk touch, unbreaking, that kind of thing. But I have been getting quite a few different things, so all I've been doing is enchanting these up, and instead of using the anvil like we did last time, I set up this thing here, the enchantment extractor. So if we just put that into there, that as long as it's got a supply of books, we'll take all the enchants off and those get piped directly into the Library of Alexandria. So the thing I've just set up just now is this thing here, the enchantment factory. So what we can do with this is put something in here, and I've got a bow in here, and once this fills all the way up, it'll enchant it. It won't be as crazy as this, but you get some decent vanilla enchants. It'll take it across into there, that'll extract all the enchantments onto books, and then those will go into here, and then once it's finished, it'll go back into here to be enchanted again. The problem I've got is the experience isn't coming in as fast as I would like, so maybe I need to figure out a different way of doing that. But with all the stuff that I've been getting, we're doing alright anyway. So if we have a look at the bow, yeah, this thing is absolutely crazy. So we've got an absolute ton of enchantments on there, and yeah, it's pretty decent. I think some of them I might be able to upgrade, but power 8 is pretty decent. We've got flame on there. Quick draw is the one that I really wanted, and I'm not sure. I think it actually goes up another level, but you see why I'm not that bothered when we have a look at this. So that's what this thing does at the minute, and it's absolutely crazy. Well, the thing that's really interesting about this is the endless quiver. So it's like infinity, but upgraded. So basically you can use any arrows. So with endless quiver and the arrow of harming, I can just fire an infinite amount of these, which is brilliant. And so yeah, this is going to look at how many are there. So yeah, once we get into the Chaos Guardian, this should help quite a lot. I still don't think we're equipped as much as we could be, so today I want to upgrade my armor and maybe some of my other stuff. I want to get heavily into the Apotheosis Gear today, so got a few things to do, including setting up a new mob farm in the end. But firstly, let's go have a look at some of the other things I've been doing. Right, so apart from an absolute ton of enchanting, the only thing I've really done is set up this little system here. I've just been messing about with some of the filters that we're going to use when we get across the end and build a new mob farm. So getting into the Apotheosis Gear, the first thing you need to do is craft a salvaging table, and this will allow you to break down any fixed items that you get from mobs into rarity materials. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me show you. So these things here, you'll have seen these if you've killed any mobs in the world where you've got Apotheosis installed, and the different rarities, mythic being the top, and that's when it's got orange writing, epic is the next, and that's purple, and then the blue is rare, and then we also have common and uncommon below that as well, but I haven't put the filters on for that yet. So what I've got here, I've got an exporter from my AE2 system, and it's just basically exporting all of the vanilla materials armor. You only get the fixed items on vanilla stuff like this, you don't get on anything else. You can put it on other things, but in the world you'll only get them like this. So I'm basically just exporting everything into this barrel, and then I've added filters into here to move anything with this NBT data. So this is the mythic one, and then we just need to set one up for each one. So I've done mythic, epic and rare, so we'll just do the uncommon one now so you can see what happens. So I'll put this NBT data in the description as well, but we're just going to paste this into here, and this is the one for uncommon. And if we just click submit there, that should take all of the uncommon stuff. So yeah, this is all the one with the green writing. That's all uncommon. That's going into there as well. We might as well, while we're here, do the common one as well. I don't really need these. It's only rare and up that I'm interested in using, but we might as well get it all in there, get everything we can. So I'm just going to paste the same one in again and edit it. So we just need common. And now that should be everything out there. So with everything else, what I'm going to do, if we just do this as an example, I'm going to use the salvager from Silent Gear. And if we just put damn boots into there, I could just put it straight in there, but this will go into here. And they're not that quick, so it's often a good idea to have multiple of these. But I'm just testing it out at the minute, and I'm going to have a better setup over in the end. So once that's done, it turns it back into diamonds, and you get way more diamonds than you would doing it any other way. So I've done that with a lot of the gold armor, but what I want to do with this, so let's grab something that we want. So let's get the epic one, and let's do an example of each one. So that's the rare. I don't have any mythic stuff yet, so can't do that one yet. And then we'll have an uncommon and a common. Right, so what we need to craft to do this is the salvaging table. Now I should have pretty much everything for this. So smithing table, and I don't have any lava. Is that right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so salvaging table. And this is all just going to be a fairly temporary setup down here. So let's not worry too much about this. Let's just stick it down here. And then with this, you can pipe stuff into it and it'll do it automatically. But if you put them in manually, you just need to click this button and it'll turn it into the salvage items for that level. Mysterious scrap metal is for the common one. And then where's the uncommon? So I'll put the uncommon in there and then we'll get the Time 1 fabric. Next one is the rare. And then that gives us the luminous crystal shards. And the final one we can do here is the epic. And that gives us the arcane sands. So the one above that is the Godforged Pearl, which we'll get from the mythic items. But as I say, we don't have any of that yet. So that's what we need to set up a mob farm for. So we're going to, in the end, we'll get much better chance of getting the mythic items spawning. We just need to set up an enderman farm that's going to kill them really, really quickly. We'll get tons of items from them. And then we're going to do a setup that involves the salvaging table, and it'll basically turn everything into the Godforged Pearls. All the mythic stuff anyway. And we'll get an absolute ton of the arcane sands and luminous crystal shards as well. From the testing I've done though, you don't get any common or uncommon, but I'm alright with that. So to use these, we might as well have a look at how it works. I think I do actually have some Godforged Pearls. I don't know if I want to do this and waste it, because I do actually need to use it for something else. I got this in a quest. But what we need to do, we're not going to do the gem cutting table yet, because that is the last step we need to do after we've got the affixed armor. So we need to get the reforging table, but we need to do the simple one first. So enchanting table, we turn that into the simple reforging table, and what this does is allows you to turn normal armor like we've got here, and let's just see. We won't be able to do anything crazy with it because this is only the simple version, but if we put that down there, I'll take my helmet and put that in there. This is basically like enchanting, so there's 3 levels, and what we do, we can't put a Godforged Pearl in there because at this level we can't do that. I think you can go up to rare, is that right? Yeah. And then we won't be able to put the arcane sands in either. That's right. So these are the 3 things that we get from it. It's like enchanting. There's 3 different levels. But we also need to use these things called sigils of rebirth. And when we're doing the Godforged level, you need 5 for the first one, 10 for the second, and 15 for the third. So we're not going to do that level. We're going to do the Godforged level. So I'll grab that. And we're going to turn this into the reforging table. Probably don't have anything. No, I don't have enough for the arcane sands, so I don't have enough epic armor to do that. Maybe I've got it on something else. Just want 1 epic item. All right, I do have a mythic axe there, so I might as well take that one. It's going to basically just destroy everything I've got in here. All right, there we go. We have another epic one, so I'll take that. And I might get lucky. Might be some more. All right, there we go. There's another one. Shovels is the place to be for the epic ones. I'll take that. Okay, so we can put that into here. So let's put one of those in there. We've got 4 arcane sands that time. That'll do for me. So what I want to do is craft the reforging table. And it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's going to be very, very useful. So with this, we can put the Godforged Pearl in this one and the helmet. And we'll see on here, if we look at the top, there's different versions of it. Now, it's not always best to just go for the top one. You may find something in the lower one that you like, but then you can upgrade it. So it's always best to go for the attributes that you want, and then you can upgrade them later on and level them up. So the ones I really want are the max health. So there's no max health on that one. There is there, and there's a lot more on that one. So I would probably choose this one if I was going to do it. But we're not going to do it just yet, because what we need to do is craft these things called a sigil of rebirth. And for that, I think I need some gem dust. So let's have a look. Sigil, I do have... No, that's not the one. So what I need is these things, the sigil of rebirth. So it's the gem dust, and we also need gem fused slates, and you get these with gem dust as well. Now, I do have some gem dust, but I think that's all from quests, because I haven't done anything with it yet. So the gem dust, you also get from the salvaging table, and these are the gems that you get that drop from mobs. So let's see. I do have an absolute ton of gems, and they're all different levels as well. So if you're going to sacrifice these to get gem dust, it's best to go for the lower level ones, not wasting like the top. If you've got any mythic or epic ones, you don't want to be using those really. So yeah, they've got an epic one there, another one. So if we just get some of the, let's go for those, cracked splendor gem, put those in there. What do we get? So we've got 5 there. But as I say, we do have a little bit, and we are going to be able to get some more later on. Although I don't have a supply of gems at the minute. Let's just craft a few of these things. So sigil of rebirth. So I just need to craft some of these first, and we do get 8 from each one, so that's a pretty good deal. So I'll just do 24 of those, and then get... we need a few of these, though. We're going to need a real lot of them, actually. So let's put that in there, and if we put the helmet in, that would now let us do that. We just need some levels, and I've just put them all back into my XP crystal, so I haven't got any levels on me at the minute. But that is basically the process of how this thing works. The other thing we can do, as I just said, you can increase... you know what? I'm gonna do one of these just as an example. So let's get one of them working properly. So I'll grab a few levels. Right. So I've come into here, and these are still in here. So if we put, so I'm gonna do the chest plate actually, because those are actually much better to do. So let's do that. That one's pretty good. Basically, the Elytra Flight one, isn't it? I don't really want that one. Should we go leggings? See if that's any better. Right, that one there's got +8 max health, which doesn't really help because that is +8 is the max you can get. But you know what? I think that one's pretty good, isn't it? So I think I'm going to take that. Oh no, you need 4 Godforged pelts for that though. I didn't realise that was a thing where you need different. Right, okay, right. So we can't do this yet, but that's no problem. But that is basically how you do it. You put the right amount of Godforged pelts in, and the right amount of sigils of rebirth, your armor, select one you want, and just click it, and that's how you do it. But can't do that just yet, but we can craft this thing. This is the augmenting table, and I need 2 Godforged spells for that. Right, alright, maybe we can then. Did I get any other epic? Oh, I did get another. Right, so let's get rid of that. And we get 2. That's alright. Okay, so craft the augmenting table, another enchanting table, and we now have the augmenting table. So what we can do with this is if we take, I'll have to do an example like this, but we put an affix item in here. Something that's got the attributes on that you've just got from the reforging table, and all the attributes you've got in there appear in a drop down. So you can select any of these that you want to increase. I don't really know what I'd want on a shovel, but right, mining speed. So that's basically like efficiency. So you could have like efficiency 9 on here, but also increase it with the mining speed as well. So you would then need to put the sigil of enhancement into here, and then you could just click this, and then it would increase it. So at the minute, that's got plus 29% mining speed, but you could click this, and it would increase until it gets to the max level. So let's say you got max health on your armor of like +5. But you wanted it to go to +8, which is the maximum. You just put that in here, and you could upgrade it to +8. Now we know how all of these things work. We need to get across to the end, don't we, and get a mob farm built so we can start getting the stuff we need to actually use these things. Okay, so over in the end, and I built a bit of a platform here. And at the minute, I do have a mega torch on it, just so we don't have any endermen spawning while I get everything set up. So the idea behind this platform, if we just click on this mob crusher, which is what we're going to use to kill everything, and turn on the working area, I have the max range add-on I can get in here, which is a tier 12. And if we look at that, this is the exact size of this platform. So I was trying to keep things really simple. I thought if I just built the biggest platform I can, and have this one mob crusher that covers the whole area, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But unfortunately, after testing this, I realised that one of them is just not enough, and the enderman just keeps spawning and it can't keep up with it. Now there are some tricks you can do by moving them around with vector plates and get them into the right area, but what I've done after a little bit of testing is realised I need 5 of these, all pointing the same way, and they're all going to have the same add-ons in. So these will actually go a little bit further in this area, but I decided not to build these out, and we're just going to put all of these same add-ons into here, and then that should be able to keep up. So with those, obviously we're just powering them with the energy cables, and I have a gate on the end of there that will just keep all those powered nice and easy. And then we have the universal pipes on the back, and it's piping the essence into this ender tank, and all the items go into the ender chest. And I've got a new colour code on here, so I've got orange, purple and orange. I thought that fit with the Godforged pearls and the arcane sands. So this is where I was going to leave it, but then I got a bit carried away and built this monstrosity. I know it's just a little box, but it does the job. Those ender chests over there just send things into here, obviously. So the experience is going to go into here, and we can just pipe that into an experience crystal and just get a ton of levels out of that. And then all the items are going to come into here. And I have started the basic setup of this. So there are quite a few steps to it. So I'll try and talk you through everything I'm thinking. So I've just got this first netherite barrel here. And this is just going to be a buffer from all the stuff that comes out of here. Just so I can pipe it into there, and I can wait there till I do the next bit. Now hopefully everything will go fast enough that this isn't really needed. But while I'm setting it up, it's going to be handy. So we also have an advanced void upgrade in here, and it's just going to get rid of all of these things. So we're going to get a ton of ender pearls, obviously, and all this stuff. I could save it, maybe use it for EMC, but I've decided just to avoid it. Don't want to do anything with that. We also have 2 pipes on here. One of them is a blacklist, and one of them is a whitelist, and they do have the same filters on. And these are the ones that I showed earlier in that little setup we've got under the house, and these are just the Apotheosis rarity NBT. So we've got one for each of the 5 levels, and it's the same on here, but they're just blacklisted. So anything that's an affix item will go through here, anything that's not will go into here. So we have got some ender pearls in there, but I think that's just because I've been shift clicking them in. What should happen is they should just get voided in here. Alright, one got through, but as they're coming through normally, it shouldn't matter. But what we're going to do here as well, we're going to have a void upgrade in here, and this is basically just going to destroy everything. We're going to turn that onto block, and it'll just anything that gets piped into here will just get destroyed. But for now, we're going to leave it on that, just to make sure that nothing comes into here by accident, and I've got everything set up right. So the next bit, this will then just have the affix items. And from there, what we're going to do, we could just pipe them straight into the salvaging table. But what would happen if we did that is we'd get a load of Godforged Pearls and Arcane Sands, which is what we want, but we'd end up with way too many crystal shards, and I just don't want that many of these. So what we're going to do, and I got this idea off an EpicEnchants video, and I'll put a link to that in the description, because he has a setup very similar to this, but he goes like way crazier and does a lot more steps. So make sure to check that out. But first, my simple setup should do more than what we need. So what he does in there is filters out all of the netherite gear that is at the rare level. So all we need to do is put a filter in for each netherite item that we're going to get out of this, and I've got most of them in here now. I think I just need the boots and maybe a sword. I don't know if the swords come through, but anything that's netherite we'll put in here, and then in the NBT data we just put the rare one. So anything that's netherite and rare will go into this chest here, and what we're going to do with that is break those down with the salvages. And I've just crafted 2 of these, and I've just had a bit of a problem as well, because these use 4 crimson iron ingots each, and I didn't realise, but these are actually quite difficult to get hold of in all the mods to the sky, because we don't have a normal nether, so we can't actually go mining for it. And as far as I can see, there's no way of getting it other than in chests in nether fortresses. So that's what I've just had to do. I've been to the nether, explored a nether fortress that was quite far away, and luckily I found 3 in one chest. And as I already had 1, this was enough for what I needed to do. So back at the base, I turned those 4 into a crimson iron seed, because this, as far as I can see, is the only way I'm going to be able to get these. So I've got these planted now, and these are now coming in automatically. So once I get a few more of those, I can get these down here, and then we'll pipe all of that netherite gear into here, and it'll turn it back into netherite ingots and diamonds. So we can pipe those into some storage somewhere, because at the minute I don't really need much netherite, but I don't have much, so I thought getting a few thousand of this would be quite nice. And then anything else that's left in here, so that's not rare netherite, will go straight into the salvaging table, and it'll get turned into the Godforged Pearls, the Arcane Sands, and the crystals. So these, I've just ran this for a few seconds, and this is what I got of it. So I've already got 12 Godforged Pearls, which is more than I've already had so far. So I think that is pretty much it. We could actually break that torch now and get it up and running. So I am going to improve this, and obviously I need to get these up and running. But I think that is about right for the filters. So all we need to do is, if we put this like this, and if I put that in there, that should be the whole thing ready. So let's go break this and see what happens. Right, there we go. So things will spawn now if I get out of the way. So let's come over here and see what's happening. So yeah, those are all spawning, and they appear to be dying. They are clumping up a little bit. So maybe I think that's going fast enough. So they're going into there. And I'll do what we got. We've got anything coming in? It's very slow, isn't it? Maybe things are just going so fast I can't see them. Oh, have I not? No, I haven't set these up right. Missed something. So these will probably have loads of stuff in. Yeah. So there's only one of those was actually piping the items out. So if I do that, and I'm going to need to upgrade these as well. If I put that in there. And then we'll do the same on the other side as well. Stick those in there. Like that. Now, that should go much better. So, do we have anything? Yeah, so stuff is coming in really fast now. But I think it's keeping up. So, yeah, all the rubbish is coming into here. Just like iron leggings so far. But then everything else, how we're doing. So, yeah, all the netherite rare stuff, that seems to be working. So, we can destroy all this. Just need to make sure there's no... Oh, there are swords coming through. So, I'll tell you what. Let's slow this down. And then hopefully we can grab his sword. I need sword and boots, don't I? That's still really fast, though. Can I get... Right. I got the sword. Need some netherite boots. There we go. Right. That one we want to do anyway, because that is mythic. But how are we doing? Oh my god, look at this. This is crazy. Stack and a half of Godforged Pearls already, and I've slowed this right down. So let's stick that back in. Oh, I didn't mention this as well. In here, we have an ultimate pipe upgrade, and this one is only advanced, so this is slower than the other one. And the reason for that is we have a filter on here to take the netherite rare stuff out, but on here there's no filter. So we just need that one to go faster to do that first, and anything that's left will come this way. Oh, that's full up already, so I need to start. Well, yeah, okay, that's bad. So because that is full up, that means this one is going to start backing up as well. So yeah, we can't hang about. We need to get this done, don't we? But what I can also do, if I let's put one of these on here together. Put that in there. I think I've still got this in here. Yeah, so that's right. And then the same for the boots as well. And I think that should be everything. So that will filter all that netherite gear out there. Now, I suppose I can just get this all piped down here and get the rest of these set up. Okay, so I think we're about there now. I've been back to base and got some of the crimson iron, and I've crafted up all these. So I've got 9 here, but if we come down below, I've got another 3. So I did do 12 altogether, and when it's running, it pretty much keeps up, but I think I may need to add some more into those. But for now, let's just get this going again, because I've just turned it off because it's just absolute madness. And I just have one more thing to do, and we should be good. So I've come over here, see things coming through, right? So that's all coming in there, and then this does fill up a little bit, but it all goes into here and it gets turned into all the stuff that we need, and then it's all getting converted in here, and then finally, this is what we've got. This is absolutely ridiculous. So what I've done from there, I've set up some storage drawers to put all these into. I just need to turn this pipe on, and it should all go into there pretty quick. If I just put that in there, that is all going to start coming out and go into there. So we now have 500, 600, I can't even keep up, I can't even say it. Yep, 650 Godforged Pearls. It's absolute madness. A few hundred netherite ingots, over 1,000 diamonds, just from this little setup. Just these endermen spawning on this small platform here. It's absolute madness. So I think that is pretty much going to do us. If we have a look at this, this is backing up a little bit, so I may add some more of these in below. But to be honest, I'm probably just going to turn this off now, because I think having about 600 of those Godforged Pearls should more than do what I need for now. If I need some more, I can come back and turn it on for a little bit. But yeah, I've got 700, so absolute madness. Right, so a short amount of time later, and I have had a bit of a rethink, and I've actually got the farm running again. And the main reason for that is I need the levels. Now, I could go back to base and get those, but I might as well, while I've got mob farm here, get this up and running. So I do have exactly 150 levels on me. And the reason for that is, if we have a look in the reforging table, we'll put that in there. To get the highest level, you actually need 150 levels exactly. So yeah, I'm going to get through a lot of levels doing this. So while we're here, we might as well do this. This is what we're here for. This is what we've been getting the Godforged Pearls for. And speaking of which, yeah, we're doing alright now. 2,300. And I've also upgraded this below here. So we now have 18 of these things running. Now, you'd think that would be enough, but this is still backing up. So I may need to turn it off every now and then just so this can catch up, or add some more in. But for now, we'll just leave it to do its thing, and we'll get these augmented. So let's put this in here and see what we've got. So what I'm really looking for on all of these augments is max health. So the higher it is, the better, really, because then it's not going to cost me as much to max it out up to +8. So the other stuff is all pretty similar. I mean, that's higher luck, isn't it? And the armor is actually better on this level. So what would be the point in going for that one? The armor toughness is better on that one. Knockback resistance the same. So that is all around better than that one. There are the things at the top. These might be slightly better. No, actually, those are better as well on the first one. So you know what? I'm going for that. That's going to be cheaper. That's only going to cost me 5 Sigil of Rebirth as well, and 2 Godforged Pearls, but I can take that. So we'll have that one, and that gives us +7 max health. Now, I want that at +8, so we're going to move over here to the augmenting table. We stick that in there, and it's already selected that one for us, so we just need to click on this plus, and it's going to use 2 of these Sigil of Enhancement. Now, these are expensive as well, because they also use the Godforged Pearl, but you do get 4 of them for each craft, so it's not too bad. So if I just click on that, that'll take that up to +8, and it won't let me do it again, because that is the max level. So now, if we put this back on, our hearts should go up, so you can see those going up, and that is really good. Now, the other thing to note on here as well is we have 3 empty sockets, which is great, considering this is only the first level one. But 3 empty sockets is all you can get. And what you do with the sockets is you put these things in, the gems. So you've probably seen a lot of these from killing mobs, but the problem is you can only get these from manually killing mobs. Any kind of mob farm that doesn't involve the player, even where it simulates player kill, you still don't get these. It has to be an actual player kill. So what I want to do with these as well is again go for max health. So I'm going to take all of these, because what I want to do with these, this is a rare one, again with the blue writing, but what I can do is take 2 of them and turn them into an epic, take another 2 and turn those into an epic, and then take the 2 epics and turn them into a mythic. So I can then put that into the slots, but these only work in core armor, which is chestplate and leggings. So I can't do it in the one I've just done. So tell you what, we might as well do the chestplate, see if we can get some sockets in there as well. So let's take that in. And what do we get in there? So there's no max health, 6 max health there, and 7 in that one. Actually, it looks like I'm going to go for the top one. I don't like that elytra flight thing. That really bugs me. So what's this one? Get resistance to when attacked as well. Explosive damage taken is reduced by 28%. That is going to be really handy for the Chaos Guardian as well. I think we're going to go for the max one this time, aren't we? So yeah, let's go for that. And then if we put that in here and max this out to +8 as well. Just like that. So with this, we'll get straight into the gems. Rather than go through all the armor first, let's get into this. So let's see how much the health goes up on this. Right, so I've nearly got another row of hearts. So this is the third row now. It starts at red, doesn't it? I already had the orange. And then we've nearly got the yellow done as well. So to upgrade these gems, let's craft the gem cutting table. I don't think I've done this yet. So, shears. And that. So, a little bit of gem dust, but I can take that. So, let's put this here. And we've got to make it look fancy as well. Can't leave it like that. Let's put that there. So, what we'll do with this, we'll put one in the middle. And it'll tell us what we need to put around the edge. So, we need to put another one of those. We need gem dust. And it's 5 we need to put in there. And then we also need rarity materials. So you do have a selection that you can do. So we can just go for arcane sands, luminous crystal shard, or the time worn fabric. So I'm probably just going to use the crystal shards because I've got an absolute ton of those. And then that'll upgrade that into the epic version of this. So let me get that stuff staying there. No, it doesn't. Right, okay. So let me get the gem dust. Alright, we'll just take all of this. I need to be careful though, because this is all I've got. And I don't have a lot of gems either to grind them down. And if we just take some of this as well. Try that again. So one of those in there. And we'll go that. And that. And then we can upgrade that into the epic one. Nice. So if we do that again, we now have 2 epic ones. So if we put 2 epic ones in, and then again, we can use the crystal shard to go into the mythic one. So we'll do that. Oh no, that's flawless, isn't it? I think I can actually go one above that as well for perfect. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we can get a perfect one where we'll get +10. But the problem is, I don't have any more of those gems. I don't think. I have a few of like the really low level ones, but I definitely don't have enough to get up to this. So I think between episodes, I'm going to have to get a way of getting some of these gems, because I have like 1 or 2, and I don't have many of like the high level ones. So anyway, we'll put the flawless one on, because then I can show you how to take these off if we need to. All we need to do this is a smithing table, and if we just take the piece of armor, which I put on, so let's take that, put that in there with that. That will then put that into that socket and give it +8 max health. So let's have that, and there we go. We now have that in there, and we can put another 2 of those in there. Now we're going to definitely want to max them out, so I'm going to have to get a lot more gems. But if we put that on, maybe we'll go up into the next one. Yes, so we're already onto the green hearts. That is absolutely brilliant. So this has gone very well. Now I obviously have a lot more to do, and I've got all this stuff that I need to reforge. I need to do these 2 and all of my tools as well, but I definitely want to see what I can get on the bow. Let's give this a go. So look at that, we can get more draw speed on that, more ammo damage, more arrow velocity. That one's got the 3 empty sockets as well, hasn't it? So I need 10 sigils of rebirth for that, so let's see if we can do those. Let's just go that, stick those in there, that again, and we'll go for this one, and then can I upgrade that? So what was that on? Draw speed. And we can go up to 125%. That is brilliant. And I've already got, and that is on 75% in a minute. So I can do that too. I mean, I don't really think I need to do that anymore, but let's see how fast this is now. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Look at that. Probably not going to be happy with me. Oh, there we go. Right, so I think we've done very well there. We've got the basics of the Apotheosis Gear going. Got a farm to produce the Godforged Pearls. We now know how to do the augmenting. But the thing that's holding us back now is the gems, isn't it? So between episodes, I'll come up with a way of getting those. It's going to be just a manual kill farm. I might do it with Enderman, actually. Just build another Enderman farm somewhere and have a way of funneling them to me and just swipe at the feet till I get a few gems. But I'll figure that out and I'll show you what I come up with. So with that, I think I'll leave it there. Done very well. Very happy with the progress we've made. And hopefully next time we can get on with taking on the Chaos Guardian. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.